Popularly known as one of the few fashion couturiers that ever lived with the exceptional ability of not only being able to create, but also pattern, cut, and sew his own designs, which to me symbolizes the height of fashion artistry. And I'm talking of no other person than Cristobal Balenciaga. Yes, you're highly welcome to the discussion today. I'm Joke Toluwanisetro, a serial entrepreneur majoring in fashion, and I'm based in Lagos, Nigeria. So let's jump into the discussion. And if you're yet to watch the other episodes on fashion billionaires, how they started, please do because it's going to help you. Cristobal Balenciaga was born on the 21st of January 1895 in Getaria, a town in Spain, northern Spain. He lost his father at an early age. His father was actually a fisherman. Then he was trained and brought up by his mother, who happens to be a seamstress. And before you know it, at the age of 12, Balenciaga had already started working as an apprentice of a tailor. So, what can you learn from this? You become what you listen to, what you watch, what you admire. Yes, Balenciaga has been watching his mom doing all the cutting, the sewing, spends most of his time with his mom. And before you know it, even before actually entering the teenage age, he became an apprentice of a tailor and he started making stitches. And what will interest you was that he started working as a teenager for Spanish royalty. Amidst them was the Machillones de Casa de Rex. The foremost noblewoman in the town at that time became his what? His patron. And before you know what's happening, this woman sent her to Madrid to learn the art of tailoring. No wonder Balenciaga is one out of a million. Is not just a couturier, but it's a couturier in the real sense of it. Just as Coco Chanel referred to him as the only couturier in the truest sense of the word. To her, the others are simply fashion designers. He can not only create with his hands, but he patterns, cuts, and sews his designs all by himself. And they come out in ways that will blow your mind, that ensure that different clients from all over the world kept on coming to patronize Balenciaga. No wonder Christian Dior also refers to him as the master of us all. In 1919, he opened a boutique in San Sebastian, which later expanded and he had branches in Madrid and Barcelona. Yes, and the Spanish royals wore lots of his designs. He was actually growing because his skill brought him forward to the limelight. And this is what we've been discussing on this series. He was able to serve the highest people of his time because they saw that he was actually good at his craft. People kept on demanding his wares. But before you know what was happening, there was the Spanish Civil War, which made him to move to Paris in the year 1937, and he opened his Paris Couture House. Yes. So then, Balenciaga was really popular in the 1950s because of his eye-catching designs, and his designs were structured designs which have never been seen in the world of fashion in that decade. He was a master of tailoring And he was also able to transform and translate his illustration from paper to real life. Yes, this advanced tailoring skill that he had gave him an advantage over other designers all over the world then. And this made him the major target of all customers, of most of the clients, fashion clients then. So let's pause a little and learn one or two lessons. The unfair advantage he had was that he learned the art of tailoring. He's not just one that sketches his design, he's not just only an illustrator. But after illustrating his designs, he can also what transform that design to what you're going to see physically with his own hands. So you can see that he was able to do this because he did not waste the opportunity he had to learn, while his mother, that was a seamstress, was actually sewing all that she was sewing when he was young, and he listened and watched closely. What have you been missing in life? What skill do you just look away from, or you just feel I don't need it? You might come to discover later in life that that is actually the skill that you need to take you to the top of this industry or whichever industry you may find yourself in. So don't waste your time to any knowledge. It's never lost. Whatever, maybe you're there and you're learning how to fold papers, to do things, you are going to find out one day that it's going to be an added advantage to what you're doing. So Cristobal Balenciaga stood out because he knew the act of tailoring, how to stitch, how to sew very well. That's why it's really a real couturier. He could stitch with his hands, and you see some of the pieces he made, they are eye-catching and mind-blowing pieces. Yes. In the 1950s, Balenciaga totally transformed the women's silhouettes, giving the women's curves or configuration a total new look, broadening the shoulders, removing waist, and most of the work you see during this decade were just a dilution of his work. Yes. For instance, in 1955, he designed the tunic dress, also called the chemist dress, of which himself and his students Givenchy designed together, and this reigned a lot at that time. And when you compare some of his work to the likes of the new look from Christian Dior, which featured full skirts and tiny waists, you'll see that Balenciaga changed this to look like one seam yoke coat, and this brought a lot of great clients to like his job, this outfit from all over the world, and he created great designs at this time, and he was actually good at his craft. So what is that thing that will stand you out? Yours might not be the art of sewing. Yours might just be that you're very good at the act of finishing, otherwise known as detailing. You could detail a design or dress, whatever, and people will be wowed. So you develop more on that. Major on your strength. Balenciaga majored on his strength, and this got him to the top of the industry. So whatever be that thing, but the in thing is just that you must discover your strength, the unfair advantage that you will harness to take you to the top. What is not just common to others, but is in you. Yours might be you know how to write very well, to craft some things. It might just be the handwritten notes that you be putting in all your designs to your clients, and people will be wowed. This packaging, it's great, and that might take you there. Nothing, no knowledge, no skill, no ability is lost. But the thing is, discover that thing, grow it, groom it, and it's definitely going to help you to the top of the industry. Yes. Balenciaga also taught fashion classes, inspiring other designers, including Oscar de la Renta, Hubert de Givenchy, to mention a few. And this is a remarkable thing in the life of Balenciaga. And I feel this is what is lacking in the world of fashion today. I'll keep repeating it, especially somewhere where I come from, like Nigeria, Africa. Most designers always see themselves as competitors. They don't even have anything to do with each other. But we can see the highest of couturier of his time, Balenciaga, he never kept the knowledge to himself. He helped other fashion designers. One of his major students I've also followed is Hubert de Givenchy. And if you are yet to watch the story of Hubert de Givenchy, kindly see the link in the description below. Yes, Hubert de Givenchy took Balenciaga as his model. They were seen working together, having the same designs, doing things with same fabrics, and yet they had different fashion brands, different fashion names, and none was bringing down the other. Dear African designers, you don't calm down by lifting up the other. Your candle can never be off by lighting the next candle. So why not let's come together, especially African designers and designers all over the world. Let's make the world a better place. Work with designers around you. If you see them having challenges and you can help out, help out. You don't know that person you're helping today might be the next ladder you need to the top of the industry. And that's the case of Balenciaga. When Balenciaga was done with his race, it was Hubert de Givenchy that helped in bringing back most of his design, because due to the high taxation in Paris then and some other things that were not disclosed, Balenciaga closed his fashion house in the year 1968 at the age of 74 after working in Paris for 30 years. And he decided, he retired, closed his fashion house in Paris. After closing his fashion house, and before you know it, on the 23rd of March 1972, Balenciaga died in Spain. But you know one thing, so many memorials and many things were done in his honor, and his faithful student or fellow designer then that took him as his model, Hubert de Givenchy, was able to help out in resuscitating most of his designs. And now the House of Balenciaga continues under the direction of Dema Gausilia, under the ownership of the Kering Group. And that's why you're still hearing Balenciaga's brand doing so great today. So the person you help today might be the person that will take you to the top tomorrow. So I want to believe you've been able to learn one or two things from the life of Cristobal Balenciaga, how we became the leader, the greatest couturier that ever lived in his time, and is still making sentence years after. He did great exploits and is still very relevant now and ever. So let me hear of you in the comment section. Where are you? What are you doing? What is the unfair advantage you have? What is that thing in you that you want to really work on to help you get to the top? Just let me hear from you in the comment section below. So, till I come your way the next time, catch you, love you, bye bye.